Most UK investors don't fail because they're stupid, they fail because they make the same predictable mistakes. Normally down to a lack of financial education. Mistakes that keep them stuck for years, slow down their progress, or completely destroy their portfolio. And I know because I've made the same mistakes over the last 25 years as an investor. I've lost my life savings in the stock market, sat in safe investments, earning literally nothing, made emotional decisions, too many, that cost me years. And these mistakes were painful. So today I'm going to tell you all about the 7 biggest mistakes UK investors make, and importantly, how to avoid them. Mistake 1, stopping investing too early. This one still frustrates me, to be honest, when I think about it, because I actually did something right. I started investing at 18 in a stocks and shares ISA, but then I made the mistake that most people don't even realise is a mistake. I stopped. Unfortunately, this is what happened. At that age, I didn't fully understand investing. To be honest, I was clueless, and after investing £500 every single month for 6 months, I stopped investing and spent all of my money on a lad's holiday. Huge mistake. Now, why this type of mistake is so damaging? Because investing isn't just about when you start. A big part of it is how long you stay invested for. Let's say I was taught about things like compound interest at school. I'm 99.9% certain I would have invested from 18 to now. So that's a full 25 years. Assuming I got average returns of 10%, that would mean I would be sat on £663,000. And looking at that huge amount, £513,000 is made up of interest earned. This is the power of consistent investing in the stock market, the power of compound interest. The painful lesson. Most people don't fail because they never start. They fail because they stop too early, too soon. To avoid this mistake, read the books and learn all about compound interest. Before we get into the video, let me know your biggest investment mistake in the comments. Mistake 2, investing based on FOMO. This one was emotional. And over the last 25 years, as a contractor and an investor, I've seen this type of mistake over and over. When I was leaving the RAF, Royal Air Force, I bought a property. Now on the surface, that does sound like an intelligent move. But the truth is, it wasn't properly planned. It wasn't strategic. It was FOMO. So, what was going through my head back in 2006? Long story short, 2 of my best mates, Carl and Chris, who were twins, they bought a property off plan on a new estate in our area and were bragging about making a quick 20 to 30k profit. So FOMO kicked in and I bought a 3-bed detached house on the same estate. I bought it for 130k and was expecting to make a quick 20k profit and then move on to the next one. Unfortunately, it didn't get valued above 120k for years, and me and the future Mrs. Duffy moved into our first home. We didn't want to live there, but we made it work. And because we've kept it long term, it's ended up being a really good rental property. FOMO catches a lot of people out. If you feel rushed into a financial decision, a big one, that's your warning sign. And if you want to avoid this type of mistake, always pause before making any big financial decisions and talk it through with friends and family. And even more importantly, do your own research. Mistake 3, listening to the wrong people. This one changed everything for me because this is where I really did learn the hard way. I have a little habit of learning the hard way and even wrote an investing book called Learn the Hard Way, Teach the Easy Way. If you want a free copy, see below in the description. Anyway, I started investing in the stock market with individual companies back in 2010 after listening to the lads at work. They were all telling me about how the new lads working offshore who'd made a fortune, hundreds of thousands of pounds on Rockhopper shares. I wanted a piece of the action, so I steamed in without doing any research. Long story short, I lost our life savings over a 10-month period. What makes this little story worse was that my wife was due to give birth to our second daughter and we were due to move to our second home. This caused a lot of arguments, a lot of stress, and I wouldn't recommend it. Please learn from this painful mistake. If you want to avoid it, learn about individual companies and fully understand the stock market before you invest. And if you want to learn a simple 5-step plan to invest in the stock market, type yes below in the comments. If you don't understand what you're investing into, why you're investing, and what could go wrong, the fact is you're just gambling. Mistake 4, holding too much cash. This one is dangerous because it feels like you're doing the right thing. Between me and my wife, we had about £70,000 in premium bonds for 4 years. Very similar, in my humble opinion, to holding cash. So why did we go with premium bonds? Because it felt safe, sensible, responsible, no risk, no stress. And if I'm being honest, I was convinced we'd win £1 million. Well, because I've got gambling in my blood. But here's what was actually happening. We were earning less than 1% per year. Meanwhile, inflation was quietly eating away all that money. So why is this so common? Because people confuse no volatility with no risk. The lesson, cash feels safe, but long term, it's one of the riskiest places to keep your money. To learn from this mistake, all you've got to do is invest into assets. I wouldn't tell you exactly what to invest into, and as always, this isn't financial advice. I'm just someone who genuinely cares because I know what it feels like to live month to month. And growing up in a council estate, I know exactly what it feels like to be constantly anxious about money. Not nice. Mistake 5, not investing during high earning periods, high earning years. This is one of the biggest regrets I have. From around 2012 to 2018, I was earning really good money in the oil and gas industry, mainly because I went back to college and uni to get a degree. Sounds like the perfect setup for an investor like myself, but here's what I did wrong. I didn't invest enough of it. As my income went up, so did our lifestyle, our spending. Basically, lifestyle creep kicked in, and this led to missed opportunity. Those years should have been my acceleration phase, where I built serious investments, took advantage of compounding, and created real momentum. Instead, I delayed it, and that delay cost me a fortune. The lesson, your highest earning years are your biggest wealth building opportunities, and most people waste them. If you do get a pay increase, try and invest some of that money, and don't spend all of it like we did for so long. Mistake 6, overcomplicating investing. This is where people try to be clever, and it normally backfires. They think there must be a better way, so they switch funds constantly, try to time the market, chase trends, overanalyze literally everything. Why this happens? Because simple feels too easy to work. But here's the truth. The more you interfere, the worse your results usually get. I've learned this from experience and from the hundreds of books I've read since 2019. On that note, if you want my top 5 investing books, type book in the comments. What actually works? Discipline, patience, regular investing, low cost index funds or similar, and long-term consistency, long-term investing. Mistake 7, not using tax advantages. This one is really easy to fix, and yet so many people ignore it. In the UK, we have one of the best tools available, the stocks and shares ISA, and yet people still invest outside it. They'll pay unnecessary tax and lose part of their returns. This matters a lot because over time, tax eats into compounding massively. Think about it like this. You do everything right, invest consistently, stay patient, build your portfolio, and then you hand a big chunk of your money back into tax. The lesson, if you're not using your ISA, you're making the journey much harder than it needs to be. Now, after all of my investing mistakes, here's what I've learned. Wealth isn't about being perfect. It's about education. It's about avoiding the mistakes that set you back years. The fact is, you will make mistakes, and that's okay. In fact, I think this needs to happen, but you need to learn quickly and move on. Please don't make the type of painful mistakes I've made over the years, over the last 25 years, mistakes that could have been avoided if I'd have read the investing books earlier, if I'd have just focused on financial education in my early 20s instead of my mid 30s. Summary. If you can avoid these types of mistakes, you don't need fancy strategies, perfect timing or luck, because that 100k that I talked about in my last video starts to build itself. But now the real question is this: what happens if you actually get this right? In the final video of this 5-part playlist, I'll show you how normal UK investors retire early. I'll be talking about things like how much to invest, how long it takes, and how to actually build real freedom, financial freedom. Before I finish this video all about mistakes, there's one thing I want to tell you, something I believe in with everything I've got. Financial education leads to financial literacy, and financial literacy leads to financial freedom, in my humble opinion.